The pay for writers has gone down 23% in the last 3 years, while the Hollywood business continues to grow. 20 years ago, it was only worth $5 billion. Now, it's $30 billion. This is why people are here chanting. As of March 22nd, the federal government has raised the interest rate 1/4 of a point, which means that the battle against inflation is far from over, and the services from organizations like Food Share and Shepherd of the Valley are going to be needed more than ever. The driver of the black Tesla only received minor injuries and is expected to live. Though it's still illegal in most states, Omar and Culture Shrooms are hopeful that psilocybin will be legalized within the next 5 years. There are more factors as to why vinyl records are so expensive right now. There's only a few vinyl pressing companies that actually exist, and shipping the vinyls has become more expensive. Reporting from Ventura, I'm Matthew Bragulla for J415.
I say union, you say power, union, power!
Members from the Writers Guild of America are on strike and taking to the streets outside of the Netflix lot in Hollywood. Christine Boylan, a writer for Cloak and Dagger, says they are fighting for livable wages in a world of streaming.
We're striking for fair compensation, and this is something that affects the writers first because we create the work first. We create something out of nothing, which scares a lot of people.
Boylan says there's a gig economy mindset when it comes to Hollywood writers. Basically, they're treated like Uber drivers hopping from job to job. Netflix writer Keely McDonald says she can go months without work.
So if you're working on a show, it's like 10 or 12 weeks, and you're not working for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Even if a weekly salary for that seems good, you've got to stretch that out. I've gone 19 months in between jobs sometimes.
Yeah.
I contacted the offices of Netflix and Disney for a comment about their position. Neither have answered. Stephen Croven, a writer for Seinfeld who's picketing outside of Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, says the companies are silent because they are trying to build strength in numbers too.
The reason they probably don't want to talk is because they don't have a leg to stand on.
The pay for writers has gone down 23% in the last 3 years, while the Hollywood business continues to grow. 20 years ago, it was only worth $5 billion. Now, it's $30 billion. This is why people are here chanting, because they want to get their fair share of the money. Reporting from Burbank, I'm Matthew Bragulla. CalFresh and SNAP benefits are slated to be cut by the end of March, forcing people who are food insecure to look for other ways to get their groceries. Marketing Director of Food Share Ventura County, Vivian Minton, say they've already seen an increase in people needing their services.
There were 75,000 people on CalFresh in Ventura County alone. That's a lot of people who are really feeling the impact of this.
Food Share has 3 warehouses and a network of food pantries and pop-up distribution events across Ventura County. Food Share employee Kevin Harold says the drive-thru event in Oxnard serves around 1,000 cars every week.
We have seen an increase of about 10% now. I know other states and other counties that we're talking to are seeing as much as a 30% increase. So we're trying to prepare for that, for what's coming.
Shepherd of the Valley Church in Simi Valley is one other outlet supported by Food Share.
Last week alone, I had 7 new families. So this is going to just keep happening, and I anticipate that by summertime, we're going to see an increase of probably 50 more families coming.
As of March 22nd, the federal government has raised the interest rate 1/4 of a point, which means that the battle against inflation is far from over, and the services from organizations like Food Share and Shepherd of the Valley are going to be needed more than ever. Reporting from Simi Valley, I'm Matthew Bragulla for J415. In the conversation revolving around shrooms, people usually think of psychedelics or biodegrading fungi. Culture Shrooms in Long Beach provide legal mushrooms that are used for medicinal purposes.
Those mushrooms are primarily being used to boost immunity, fight immune-related diseases, disorders, as well as lion's mane specifically being used and studied in the brain and what it can do to amyloid plaques, dementia, Alzheimer's.
In Culture Shrooms' grow room, it typically takes up to 6 weeks for mushrooms to fully bloom. These are used in chocolate, tea, and even coffee. Jose is a customer who uses a type of mushroom called lion's mane to help with anxiety.
I just feel like just gotta just focus, just clear-minded. I know the direction that I need to go in, and I can do it without being nervous about other things.
CSUN biology professor David Bermuda says psilocybin, known as the psychedelic mushroom, is offering favorable results in helping with mental illnesses as well. However, it is still undergoing trials.
Some of the early reports for treating that are very encouraging. You also have to realize that those are early, small studies.
Though it's still illegal in most states, Omar and Culture Shrooms are hopeful that psilocybin will be legalized within the next 5 years. Reporting from Long Beach, I'm Matthew Bragulla, J415.